It's live mailbag time here on NBA Now by Chat Sports, and I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther. If I don't get to your question today, hit me up on Twitter at Jimmy_Crowther, and I will answer anything and everything you got. Just go ahead and slide into my DMs, and I'll answer any question that you might have for me about the NBA. Hunter coming in with this question says, what do you think the Kings are doing? Do you think they were saving money for next offseason? If they were saving money for next offseason, I don't really know why, because I don't think anybody's going to Sacramento. It's just not a very good team. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they haven't fired Luke Walton. They filled out their bench pretty nicely. Glenn Robinson, Hassan Whiteside. That gets you like 2 steps closer to the number 1 pick in the draft, I guess. I don't know what the Kings are doing. This is not a very good team, and they don't have very good depth. I like De'Aaron Fox. I think they had an outstanding draft. They just didn't capitalize on the draft. They should have gone all in on young talent, and they just didn't do it. So, I don't know. I don't know what the Kings are doing. Fire Luke Walton. That's the train that I'm getting on. Let's go to Tom Downey's actual account with a super chat. It says, will there be a Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul rematch? Nate Robinson does not want that smoke because he got absolutely demolished in the ring, and it was, frankly, quite funny, I have to admit. But no rematch coming for Nate Robinson. Got to say it. Nick P says, Giannis was the one trying to recruit Bogdan, but, question mark. But the Bucks failed. They failed to really complete the deal. They thought they had it going, and then they realized, oh, wait, we're not allowed to talk to free agents yet. We can't do this. This is illegal, and people got in trouble. So, yeah, it's the Bucks' fault. I mean, I'm sure Giannis would have been happy about it, but it just didn't work out. Sagiv Tirosh says, what should the Celtics do with their trade exception? I think they got to use it on a big man. I think it's time. Not Andre Drummond. I'm out on him. I think a guy that can stretch the floor like Miles Turner would be really, really good for them. Go out and get somebody with it that can help them protect the rim but also shoot threes. That's really what you need. Or you can use it on multiple players that kind of help out their depth and give you some more veteran experience because you have so many young guys on that team, on the bench lineup. If you want to upgrade at point guard, if you don't like Kemba Walker, that's fine. If you want to get a more defensive-minded guy, that's fine. But I'm all in on them getting a true big man, maybe even a better power forward because, like, Jason Tatum's great, but I'd rather have him play the 3 and then somebody else at the power forward position. So, yeah, definitely a big man for me. Let's go to Jimmy's burner account, or I guess my actual burner account. So, did the Celtics get better or worse this offseason? Sorry to say it, but they did not get better. It's a bit of a lateral move. I think Aaron Nesmith helps them, but you lose Brad Wanamaker, you lose Gordon Hayward for nothing, you lose Vincent Poirier, and you lose Enes Kanter, and you replace them with Tristan Thompson and Jeff Teague. I don't love that. I don't love what Boston did. I think they had a chance to get a lot better, and they just failed to do it. They had every chance in the world to trade Gordon Hayward for some valuable pieces or at least somebody that would help them out, and they didn't do it. They had a chance to get Miles Turner and a first-round pick for Gordon Hayward, and they got greedy, and they ended up with a second-round pick and a trade exception. So I think they got a little bit worse. I still think they're a top team in the Eastern Conference, but not as good as they could have been. I think they could have been true contender status, and now they're more just second-round deep playoff run for me. Probably not in the NBA Finals, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What seed do you think the Celtics will actually finish as in the Eastern Conference? I'd go top 4 is not unreasonable, but that Eastern Conference is a little bit tougher now. I think maybe that 5 or 6 seed could be a little bit more realistic, but if you want more Celtics coverage, go ahead and subscribe to youtube.com/CelticsTV. Let's go to Predo. Says, where does Korver sign? I can't believe the Lakers haven't signed him at this point. Look, every team can still use shooting, but I have not seen anything about Kyle Korver interest or if he even really wants to play again. I mean, there's a chance that Kyle Korver just doesn't have any interest in playing this next season, although I think that would kind of be insane. I think the Lakers or really any contender are going to pick him up. I think him going back to the Bucks would be prime, would be best for him, but so far, nothing happening for Kyle Korver. Link ZS says, what do you think about Jusuf Nurkic becoming an all-star? I don't know if he has the usage rate in Portland to be an all-star. He also doesn't stretch the floor well enough. I mean, he's close. He's getting to a point where he can shoot, but he's not all the way there yet. I love Jusuf Nurkic. I think he's a great role player. I think he's a great third piece. But third pieces usually in today's NBA aren't all-star status, and that's okay. He's right there. I don't think he's an all-star quite yet. The Human says, what should the Chicago Bulls do next offseason? Next offseason, you go all in on getting somebody big because they have the money to do it. They have the money to go out and sign a big-name player, maybe a real point guard, maybe a vet. It's got to be a veteran at this point because they need to start winning. They have been a team that has just really tanked for a while at this point. And if you can go out and get a veteran next to Kobe White, Lauri Markkanen, Wendell Carter, and now Patrick Williams, and potentially Zach LaVine if he stays put, you go out and do it. So that's what I would do. But if you want to know what your favorite team is going to do or what any team in the NBA is going to do, make sure you subscribe today to Chat Sports and hit that notification bell, because if you don't have your notifications on, you're going to miss a video, because we got videos coming out every 3 hours on this channel. They come out like crazy, so you're going to want to make sure you have those notifications turned on and that you're subscribed to youtube.com/chatsportstv. Blue Diamond Jim says, is LeBron getting that Miami steroid treatment? No, he's not, because here's the deal. When LeBron was in Miami, he was like juiced up. Like, that dude was heavy and could lift all the weight in the world. Now he's kind of slimmed down. He's taken all the weight off of his body so that he can play longer. So he's doing, honestly, the exact opposite, and doing everything he can to kind of slim down and make sure that he can play for as long as possible. No, LeBron's not on steroids. Chris Jones says, predict Luka's stats. Oh, gosh. Trying to get me to be bold here. Man, that first part of the season without Kristaps Porzingis, he could legitimately average like a 30-point triple-double, and it would not surprise me at this point. But I'm not going that far yet. I think he'll go 26.2 points per game, 10.1 assists per game, and I think his rebounds will take a little bit of a dip because the Mavs got a little bit bigger, so I'll go 7.9 rebounds per game. Is that fair? That's probably a little outlandish there, but all I care about now is Luka's three-point percentage. I know he can score. I know he can rebound. I know he can pass. I need Luka to shoot the ball consistently well. Get me to 35% from three from Luka, and then it's game over for the rest of the league. That's all I need to see. Liam O'Brien says, you are sleeping on the Celtics. You have not been doing anything right during this talk, and you need to improve. Wow, some hate. Sent me $5 just to hate on me. That is some true hate. I think the Celtics are good. I put them up at number 6 in my power rankings. I don't know how much more I could be awake on them. They're fine. They're good. They're great. They just got worse this offseason. That's just a fact. But I still think they're a good team. So you can stop with that much hate, Liam. Chill out. Let's go to Eddie Hawn. Says, do you think the Pacers will make it to the second round this year? If Oladipo is 100% and he's actually bought in, maybe. I think they have a good chance to make it at that point. Because Oladipo, when he was healthy, he was an all-star. He's a great player for that Indiana team. So I think they could make it to the second round if he truly plays up to his all-star status. And if Malcolm Brogdon's healthy, I think that's a big thing as well. And Domantas Sabonis, he had that foot injury in the bubble that kind of held them back. But if he's all the way there, that team's really good. I mean, that's 2 all-stars in Oladipo and Sabonis. That's a great rim protector in Miles Turner, a great point guard in Malcolm Brogdon. And if TJ Warren does anything like he did in the NBA bubble, that team's going to be pretty darn good. So I'll say they have a good chance, but it all depends on Oladipo's health. Super chat from Vince says, surprise team for each conference. Are the Hawks a surprise team at this point? I really like that team. I'll say I don't think they're surprised because I think they're definitely in the playoffs. I think the Wizards could be a surprise team if John Wall's all the way healthy. If he's 100% there, then that's going to be a good team, and that could be a surprise for a lot of people. My Western Conference surprise team, I feel like people are kind of sleeping on the Grizzlies. Like, they were right on the cusp of the playoffs this past year, and then obviously they tanked it out to try to get a draft pick, which I don't know why they would do because they actually gave their draft pick up to the Celtics. But at the end of the day, I think the Grizzlies are a legitimate team, and I think that if they can really keep making that push and keep on, keeping on with John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., I think they could be right there in that 8-seed conversation in the Western Conference again. I want to tell you about our deal over at Fanatics happening right now at chatsports.com/NBA mask. Go get your favorite team mask right now for 30% off. It's a great stocking stuffer with the holidays right around the corner. You can get it for the biggest NBA fan in your life at this link right here, chatsports.com/NBA mask. I tell you about these deals because I care about you. So go check that link out. It's in the comments. It's in the description of this video as well. You can get 1, packs of 2, packs of 3, or packs of 4 with your favorite team logo right there on your face. Go get one today at chatsports.com/NBA mask. Best deal you're going to find on all NBA team masks all the time at Fanatics. Chatsports.com/NBA mask. The Waiting Game 25 Flames says next year's pick in Wiggins for LaVine. Feels like a bit of a lateral move and then a little bit of a minus because of next year's pick. Like, Wiggins and LaVine are pretty similar players. Like, LaVine's better at this point, but they're very, very similar. And next year's pick, you could potentially find someone just as good as Zach LaVine or Andrew Wiggins. Maybe not that good, but close to it if it's Minnesota's pick. So, no, I think the Warriors say no in this one, but I think it was a pretty intriguing offer there. But, yeah, Warriors say no. Let's go to Raphael Salash. Says, what is your top 5 NBA Christmas Day matchup games? Ooh, good question. Off the top of my head, I'm guessing you mean like my future ones, like who I think will play this Christmas. Lakers and Clippers, that's got to be two of them. That they got to go up against each other for sure. I would like to see the Milwaukee Bucks and the Dallas Mavericks go up against each other. I think Giannis versus Luka would be really, really good. I would like to see the Boston Celtics playing against the Brooklyn Nets. I'd like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving going up against his old team in Boston. Who else would I like to see? Those would be my top 3 off the top of my head. You got to have the Golden State Warriors in there. I'll go Golden State Warriors and Houston if they keep Russell Westbrook and James Harden. And then one more, trying to think. Definitely Miami. Miami's got to be in there. And they go up against, the Sixers. Miami and the Sixers. That'd be a solid team. Jimmy Butler going up against his old team. I think that's solid. So those would be my top 5 right off the top of my head. Kind of put me on the spot there, Raphael, but I think I did a pretty good job. My Holy King says, why are the Celtics not using Taco Fall? Guys, Taco Fall is super fun in the G League. He's on a 2-way contract for a reason. In a very situational moment, Taco Fall will play. And I think we might see him a little bit this year in dire situations. Let's say Tristan Thompson gets hurt and Daniel Tice dies. Then Taco Fall will get his chance in the NBA. But listen, at the end of the day, unless he's guarding an inbounds pass, he can't move. He's just not big enough. Or he's not fast enough, I'm sorry. But he's a fun player, and if he can figure out how to be a little more agile, a little bit quicker, maybe he gets there in the NBA. But at the end of the day, the Celtics just don't need him. Like, Tristan Thompson is way better than Taco Fall ever will be. Same with Daniel Tice, in all honesty. So that's why they're not using Taco Fall. Tony says, best Lakers crunch time lineup. They could choose from the whole world at this point with their lineup. They could go basically anybody on their bench, and they'd be just fine. But when it comes down to that last 5 minutes and when they need to get a bucket, I think they'll roll out something along this lines. I think Wesley Matthews does not play in that kind of crunch time. I think he plays, maybe if they really, really need defense. But at the end of the day, I think you go Dennis Schroeder and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in that starting 5. And, you get shooting and you get scoring in Dennis Schroeder and KCP. LeBron James, obviously. Anthony Davis, obviously. And I think you go Montrezl Harrell over Marc Gasol unless you, are, kind of in foul mode. If you're getting fouled, Marc Gasol should play. But these are your 5 probably best players on your team. And you got to roll out your 5 best players when you're able to. But you guys can let me know who you think the Lakers crunch time lineup should be. Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. If you're a diehard Lakers fan, this link right here is the best place to go for all Lakers coverage at youtube.com/LakersTV. Growing like crazy over on that channel, and it's all because of you guys. So make sure you subscribe to that link. It's in the description of this video. All you got to do is scroll down and click that link and subscribe today. And let me know what the Lakers crunch time lineup should be this next season. You saw mine: Schroeder, KCP, LeBron, AD, and Montrez. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Let me know. Rishan Hannan says, could Dallas trade for Gallinari next offseason or at the deadline? Before I answer your question, I want to give a shout out to Bill Brennan for the super chat. Didn't send a question, but he sent me his money, so I appreciate that. Look, no. Gallinari's getting overpaid now. He's getting paid $20 million a year. I don't think the Mavs have any reason to really pay that much to Danilo Gallinari. He didn't want to come here in free agency. He wanted to go play for a team like the Atlanta Hawks. That's fine. But if you spurn us, I don't think Cuban's really interested in trading for you at this point. Plus, what are you going to give up? Like, I don't really want to give up any of our rookies or Josh Richardson for Danilo Gallinari. Maybe James Johnson on an expiring during the deadline, but I don't think the Hawks are going to do that. They're all in at this point, and they really like Gallo, so I don't think either team would end up doing it. Jon Jon Anqui says, all defensive team this season, who do you think? Oh, wow, that really puts me on the spot. I will go Anthony Davis and Giannis as the 2 locks. Rudy Gobert is definitely going to be up there as well. That's probably your, a forward and a center. Eric Bledsoe would be up there if he was on a good team. I think Drew Holiday, this is the year that he gets his all-defensive selection as a part of the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that would be one of the best defensive teams in the league. And then another guy, Marcus Smart. That'd probably be my other guard pick. So Drew Holiday, Marcus Smart, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Those would probably be my defensive players of the year. Maybe Draymond Green could sneak in there this year if the Warriors are living up to expectations. The waiting game, 25 Flames, is Kevon Looney and next year's pick for Kevin Love. I don't hate it, but they don't have that much money. Kevon Looney and next year's pick, because the trade exception's gone because they took Kelly Oubre into their trade exception. So the Warriors technically couldn't do this. So unless this included Draymond or Andrew Wiggins, it's just impossible. But, I mean, I would trade Kevon Looney and next year's pick for Kevin Love if I'm the Warriors, if they could make the money work. But unfortunately, they just won't be able to make the money work. But if you want more Warriors coverage, youtube.com/WarriorsTV, that's the place to go. Malcolm Lloyd says San Antonio Spurs future for Greg Popovich. Will Becky Hammon be the next one to step up? I actually should be at this point. Like I would give Becky Hammon a chance. I think you just go ahead with one of the newer coaches and just see what you can do. Might as well do it. I like that idea, Malcolm. I think Greg's probably gone after this year. I think this could be the year he announces his retirement. Koi Kurta coming in with the last question of the day. Says one more trade for Dallas. One consistent wing scorer. Who do you think for Boban, Dwight Powell, Brunson, and a second rounder? If you want a wing scorer, the two guys that I'm keeping my eyes on throughout the offseason and into the regular season too, Victor Oladipo and Zach LaVine. You got to look at those two guys because those are the two guys that I think will actually be available around the trade deadline. But another thing here with the Dallas Mavericks is that they pull these trades out of nowhere sometimes. That Josh Richardson trade came out of absolutely nowhere. The Kristaps Porzingis trade came absolutely out of nowhere. So there are players that you might not even think are available that if they become available at the deadline, Mark Cuban and Donnie Nelson might kind of work a little sneakily and get themselves a trade. So maybe it's someone we're not even talking about right now. Liam O'Brien with Super Chat says, "Hi, Jimmy. Want to apologize for telling you that you need to improve. How do you think Memphis will do this year?" Liam, I appreciate your apology and the $10 that you spent between hating on me and apologizing to me. It means a lot, and it makes me feel a lot better. I think Memphis will be right on the brink of the 8th seed. I don't think they're going to beat out some of these better teams. I think the Pelicans got better and the Grizzlies kind of stayed the same, but that's okay. I think if the Grizzlies can get one more lottery pick and then add a veteran in the next couple of years, they're going to be really, really good. But I love their draft, getting Xavier Tillman and Desmond Bane at the end of the first round for Bane and in the middle of the second round, or I guess early second round for Xavier Tillman. They had a good offseason with all things considered. So I think they'll be fine. Liam, I appreciate it, and I accept your apology. And I want to end this mailbag with this question. Who do you think is going to play in the 2021 NBA Finals? Not who's going to win it, but what two teams are going to match up? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, or if you're watching live with me right now, in the live chat.